Hi, I'm Ace, a small town Tennessee boy who's been quietly plugging away, building a conglomerate of businesses and creating a small empire using a pretty predictable process to take ownership in businesses of all kinds and all kinds of industries. No, I don't work at some investment bank. In fact, I started with less than a couple $1,000s in the bank, and I didn't start any of these businesses from scratch. But I was able to gain ownership and passive income from businesses who were enthusiastic to turn their business over to me, either completely or partner with me to help grow their business. As time passed, I began to create a system. And this system allowed me to take over profitable businesses with none of my own money. I wasn't sure if I was just lucky or if I really had a true framework that anyone could use. So, 12 months ago, I set out to answer this question because honestly, it was bugging me. I had questions like, did this process just work for me, or could anyone use it? Are other people held back by what society conditions them to believe, that entrepreneurship has to be risky or hard? What really stops people from owning a business that gives them freedom? See, I was surrounded by people who talked about their desire to own a business and would come to me and ask me how they could get started buying businesses like I did, but I never saw them take action. So I took a hodgepodge of everyday people, completely normal people with no special business related talents, and even some failed entrepreneurs who had never successfully built a company that gave them the freedom that they wanted. I gave them the very same framework I've used to buy over five businesses that were profitable outright and equity in seven other profitable businesses that produce passive income for me without me ever having to use any of my own money. This is when I realized how terrible traditional advice is. See, there's seven problems that I have with a lot of the advice that entrepreneurs usually get. The first problem is people have been told they need a special talent or skill to start their business. So, what if you don't have any special talent or skill or expertise that people are willing to pay for, but you want to start a business? You want to own a profitable business and achieve your own American dream. How do you start that business when you don't have any unique special skill to offer? My second problem is if we want to start a business, we need that magical idea. It's the idea that our friends and our family and everyone we meet thinks is absolutely brilliant. It also has to be magical in the sense that no one has ever thought of it before. Plus, it has to be sexy. And so we come up with an idea, but then we find out that there's competition. We get bummed and we go back to the drawing board to find the next magical idea to build a business that's going to give us freedom. So the entrepreneur never gets started while they wait on that unique idea. Problem three. See, we all have been around and seen these people who are raising hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars to start their business. We know we don't have access to that kind of money. So many of us figure we can't own a small profitable business without going out and raising money. So, isn't there another way without having access to that much capital? Here's problem four. Starting a business takes 12 hours a day, minimum. We have to sacrifice time with friends and family to be successful. Everyone knows that starting a business from scratch is tough. We can't spend time with our friends, our partners, or our children. We've got to work instead. They say, hey, you can't have everything. And that's usually the advice that we get from society. Problem number five. We're told that to create a business, we need to do it in something that we have an undying passion about. But what if we don't even know what our passion is? Or what if our passion is in something not related to making money? Does that really make sense? Here's problem six. See, We've all been told starting a business from scratch is risky. It takes a lot of guts and it takes even more luck. And the really scary thing is, if you do step out there and start this business from scratch, what will your friends think about you? What will your family think about you if it doesn't work out? So many people sit on the sideline and never jump out to take that risk. But there has to be ways to limit that risk. And here's problem number 7. Deep down, many of us have doubts. We think, hey, maybe I'm just not smart enough. I mean, why are some people so successful at creating businesses and I've never been able to get started? You know that they aren't smarter than you deep down inside. You just may not know the things that they know. But we still question ourselves, hey, maybe some people are born with it. If you've ever searched for advice about any of these topics, you'll discover it's constantly and quite honestly carelessly written about by many so-called experts who, bottom line, have never owned a profitable business and most certainly have never gone out and bought a profitable business and experienced what that's like. Most of the articles and information written on the topic of entrepreneurship never talks about the idea of buying a business and the power that that can give an entrepreneur. So all of the nonsense that's out there creates an entire group of people who have extreme desires for freedom, but have no idea about the many options out there to attain their goal. Instead, they end up buying magic bullet products, coming up with magic bullet ideas that they think are going to turn them into instant millionaires. Many people fall into network marketing and other things that just have a very high failure rate. I mean, I'm a fan of anything that works for people, but you have to look at how many people are failing in the business that you're choosing to go into before you jump into it. Others end up buying solutions and systems that have some unique loophole, and they buy them from people who make more money selling the information than they actually do implementing their own system. There's no place that includes a set of principles that are both of these things. One, removes the risk of starting a business from scratch, because there are